Good afternoon. We're going to do a review on this Toro zero turn. It's a Timecutter 54 inch, 50 inch, I'm sorry. Uh, I did get it from a Toro dealer. Home Depot sells kind of the same version, but it's got the Kohler motor on it. This has got the Kawasaki. You pay, I think it's like $600 or $800 more. Does seem to be a little more motor. Um, I'm a landscape company. I keep care of a handful of commercial properties. I never did a lot of mowing, but I did have quite a few. I had a day and a half, 2 days of it originally. Then all I keep now is my commercial properties. It's part of the year-round contract. I really don't want to mow anymore, but I would say for the last 20 years of this business, I've never bought a commercial zero turn. I just never felt they were worth the money. You start paying $12,000, $13,000 for a lawnmower. I just never could get myself to do it. So I've always bought the best of the homeowner versions. Had good luck with them. I had a Husqvarna originally. Actually, originally I had a Craftsman when I first started this business in the 90s. Then I bought a Husqvarna, kept it I think for 7 or 8 years. Had decent luck with it. I want to say that was a 54-inch cut. Then I went to I've had two Cub Cadets. Had awesome luck with those. The reason I went with this is I'm doing a little bit of YouTube, stuff, and I watch a lot of YouTube stuff. Toro seems to be really putting some money and giving a lot of these guys that are doing, YouTube videos, they're giving them one to play with and, say their piece about it. Reality is I heard a lot of good about Toro, so I went with Toro just to try something different. This was probably 850 to 1,000 more with the bagger than a Cub Cadet again would have been. Same quality bagging system. It isn't any better. But I said I'll give it a try. I did like the idea of the Kawasaki motor, but I've had it for half the summer now. Not a real good experience. I went to a Toro dealer. They had this one sitting there. It was scratched up because it was on the showroom floor. They knocked 50 bucks off. Then I said, well, I'm going to leave it here until you get a bagger for it. I got this early in the spring. There was still snow on the ground. Paid for it, paid for the bagger. They said, oh, it will be in 3 weeks, and because of COVID, I'm like, yeah, whatever. It sat there and sat there. The Toro dealer never even got back to me. The only time I had communication with them was when me or my daughter would send them an email, or I would call and they'd say they have someone get back to me. They had no idea when this thing was coming in. They said, oh, it's going to come in. They didn't. Then oh, it says here it's going to come in. Never did. Very poor communication. Not impressed with the dealer I went to. It's a fairly new dealer. But overall experience of this thing, I wish I would have bought another Cub Cadet. I don't believe this mows as well. Doesn't mow as fast as the Cub Cadet that I had. It was a mine had the Kohler 18 horse motor on it, 54-inch cut. Like I said, it was the better of the homeowner versions. Wasn't commercial, but I felt it was a little bit faster. You could mow at full speed. This one here, if you mow it as fast as it will go, and the grass is even 4 inches tall, you're double mowing, or you go back and you'll see where there's like a little mohawk here and there. So you really, I am going to try to change the blades. It could be just the blades. I normally go with an aftermarket better blade when I do replace them. But I mean, day one I bought this, we had to go do one of our commercial sites. Something I've been mowing for, 15, 16 years. I had to go quite a bit slower than I did with the Cub Cadet, so that kind of aggravated me. Overall, the quality of it I think is real good. Built rugged. The mowing deck's a welded deck. It's funny because it seems to have plenty of power. The motor doesn't lag. It's just I think the quality of the blades isn't there. I'm going to try to get a blade that will lift better, cut better. See what happens. I may like it, but as of right now, I wanted to do a review. My daughter's like, "Oh, when we bought it, I said I'm going to do a review, see what I think." Overall, I wish I would have bought the Cub Cadet again. So my people should watch this video. You know, Toro it's not a bad. I'm not saying it's junk neither, because it's not junk. It'd probably be awesome for a homeowner. And I know I'm going to get beat up because I do two commercial sites now. I gave up. I had 3 for the longest time that were pretty big, but like I said, I don't do enough of it to justify 13 to 15 grand for a zero turn. What I do with these is I run them for 5, 6, 7 years, and when I get an itch to get a new one, I can normally sell this. I just sold. I sold the Husqvarna to a neighbor on the left side of me. I sold the last 2 Cub Cadets to the neighbor that's on the right side of me, because he's got between him and his daughter and his son, they got about 3.5 acres they mow. So they're normally looking for a little bit better than, you know, a Craftsman, just like a regular mower. But I sell them to him. He normally gets another 4 or 5 years out of them. What happened now is that his son took one. He just took the latest one, which I believe the last Cub Cadet I had was 6.5 years old. And when I got that, I was doing a lot of, I'm still doing cleanups, stuff like that. So in the fall, we do a lot of bagging with it. Just as, you know, commercial properties, I don't have a lot of leaves. We blow a lot of the leaves, pick them up that way. But at the end of the season, instead of going through all the motions again, we normally would just put the bagger on and, you know, pull the leaves up. And it really worked well. I got the bagger for this. I'm going to put on in the next few weeks. I'm anxious to see how it does work. Seems to me like it's the same, almost like a generic system like I had on the Cub Cadet. Pretty much the same system on most of them now. It's just how they mount on the back of the unit. But well, like I said, overall, I don't want to say it's not junk by no means. I just don't think it's the roar you hear on Facebook and all the advertising that Toro does pushing their product right now. The YouTube stuff, it's another reason I bought it, is everybody rants and raves how good they are, but maybe I would talk different if someone gave this to me. But I paid, I think, like $5,180 with the bagger. It's a lot of money, you know what I mean? It kind of aggravates me that I can't mow as quick as I did with a machine that was, you know, 6, 7 years old. But we'll see what it is. I'm going to keep it for, like I said, probably 6, 7 years. And but I don't believe I'll be buying another Toro. I think I'll go back to a Cub Cadet or maybe even a Husqvarna. One of my landscape customers that I do commercial stuff for, they bought I think it's like 2-year-old Husqvarna zero turn, and they're pretty impressed. They have a pretty good field they have to mow, you know, every other week when they come out. It's a camp, but it's a farm type camp, big fields. So we'll see what happens. But I just wanted to do that, you know, quick video, but we'll do a quick walk around. Like I said, I paid a little extra to get the Kawasaki motor. The Toro Timecutter. They make, I think, a 48, a 50, a 54, and a 60-inch mower deck. Other than that, the unit's pretty much the same. I think when you get up to the 60, it does have a bigger tire on the back, but the power plant, I think, is the same on quite a few of them. Quality, I think the seat's better than the Cub Cadet, but overall comfortability, I don't think it's any better. Like I said, I've been on it for half the summer. I'm hoping that once I run it more, maybe I'll like it better, but I don't even feel it's as comfortable as the Cub Cadet was. But I'm stuck with it now for 5 or 6 years, because I try to, investment wise, keep it. And then hopefully if someone will want it. Like I said, I don't normally have a problem getting rid of my equipment because I keep it up. So, but that was a quick review. I'll just, like I said, it's fall now here in New Hampshire, so next spring I might do one more once we put the bagger on it. We'll see how late the season goes, but how quick winter gets here.